Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on Twist Gaming at Origins 2017. We have Sara with Renegade Games on, and I am joined by my co-host, Jeff. Sara, what awesome games have you brought for me to take a peek at?
I just brought a few because we have a lot of awesome games. But I couldn't carry all of them, so this is what I brought to
Limited by arm capacity.
Right, my little arms, this is not helpful. But yeah, so I brought several different games I would love to show you.
Your games are always so beautiful. That's the first thing that I want to compliment on. The second you put them down on the table, all four of these particular games have different art styles, but they're all really pretty.
I have seen these being played around at the show already, so I know they're like popular and fun. And they've been recommended to me, these two specifically. So, but I don't know much about them, so.
That's great to hear. Well, I'd love to tell you about them.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
Great. So Flatline's the first one I want to tell you about because it actually is already at your friendly local game store.
Awesome.
So if you want to pick it up at home, you don't have to be sad that you're not Gen Con or at Origins. You can pick this up right now, and it's a game in the Fuse universe. It's designed by Kane, Klenko, who has done some really incredible stuff recently. And as part of the Fuse universe, originally in Fuse you were part of the bomb defusal team. You had only 10 minutes to run around the ship, defuse all the bombs, super intense. In this game, you're part of the medical bay team, and you are saving the patients who've been busted up during the attack. It's still very intense, but you do get some breathing room in this one because you have 1 minute rounds and then planning and strategy time. So you can take a little breather, go get a drink, recoup, and then go back at it for that 1 minute round that's super intense again.
Awesome.
High stress gaming.
Yeah, exactly. But for all of you who need a little bit less stress in your life, the dice are very beautiful. So at least that'll help you relax.
How many players does this game play?
It goes up to 5, which is fantastic because I feel like a lot of games, like these ones, are a little bit lower player count, but sometimes you just really need to go up to 5 players.
If you're working on the medical team, is cooperative?
It is cooperative, so semi-real-time cooperative game, rolling lots of dice, saving all those patients, dealing with emergencies. That's what we all do for fun, right?
Yeah. Totally.
No pressure.
Exactly.
This is really great.
Awesome.
Is that a ghost in the cover art?
So this is a sci-fi themed game that's a sort of hologram type
Oh, it's a
deal.
hologram.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
There's no ghosts in space.
Come
on, dude.
Ghosts in space. Maybe that's a thing.
Except space ghost definitely is a thing. Now I think about
Space ghost,
coast to coast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. So yeah, Flatline by King Klenko. And
so King Klenko also is bringing us
FlipShips. That is true. And just for everybody at home, FlipShips. Still FlipShips. Pretty amazing. I love the graphic
The art's
design of
incredible.
that. And we even had the artist here at Origins signing copies. Man, that guy is nice and just a delight to be around. So we're really lucky to have Kwanchai Moriya here with us this weekend.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So what is the premise with FlipShips?
You are defending your base from this horrible invasion of alien ships. And to do that, you have been tasked with sending your forces out onto the board, and you do that by flipping a token onto those cards.
Have heard about this game.
It's a blast, and I love that there's so much tension in that when you actually are sitting down there on the ground and you're about to flip your ship, you're trying to make sure you hit the right space, and you flip it, lands, everybody cheers. It's a blast. So that's gonna really, I think, just take off as soon as more people get their hands on it. We had a few copies here this weekend, but certainly not enough.
Yeah, dexterity games, like, when people see them on the table, they have so much table presence, they just start selling themselves. You just gotta get it with more presence out there, right? So.
And that's great, and I want to give people that fun experience of flipping the ship, but there's more game in this box than you would expect. It's not just that little tiny sort of gimmicky thing. All of the ships that you're playing have special abilities, and each different player on your team has a different ability that they can use for their ship.
Okay, just as a player even before you get a ship, or is the ability tied to the ship?
The ability is tied to the ship, which is important because as you start taking damage, reinforcements will come in and help you out. And that means you get more ships in your army to keep fighting with, and you'll have more tokens to blast off during your turn.
Okay.
And each one of your ships, depending on which level it is, will have different abilities, and those are all unique for each person on the team.
Oh, that's really cool.
That sounds amazing.
It means
Yeah.
you really do need to work together, and you need to pay attention, if possible, to where you're flipping those ships, because just landing them on the board and taking out some of those invaders is not necessarily good enough. Different enemy ships have different abilities as well, and as they come towards you, they're going to either come towards you faster, deal more damage, cause other ships to not be able to be attacked. There's a lot of abilities on those ships that you really need to pay attention to, in addition to the mothership, which is a 3D box standing up at the end of the board,
Yeah.
and you need to flip tokens into the mothership to be able to defeat that as well.
That is so cool.
It's a very simple mechanic with more going on. It does not surprise me at all that Kane Klenko was a designer of this. It reminds me a lot of Flatline and Fuse in its own very unique way.
That's crazy. I definitely have heard a lot of good things about FlipShips. Everybody's really excited over the dexterity component of the game, and that's pretty much the compliment that I've been told was it's not really just a dex game. You've got so much more going on because of the abilities and because of the mothership in the back being a box and having to get it in there.
Yeah, I mean, most Dex games are just like one thing. Like pitch car, ice cool, whatever. You're just flicking around, and that's the thing, right? Having a strategic plan that you need to put into place before you do that, like that adds so much more to your decision-making process, and it just adds so much depth. I
think
really want to
people-
play this now.
It's really, really fun. I think
Yeah, I
people
love
are
Dex
gonna play
games,
it.
so yeah.
Yeah, they're going to keep playing it too. You're not just going to play it once and then throw it back on your shelf. You're going to pull this out because it's a challenge to do it well.
Awesome.
And it just really fits into that whole family of games that he's made.
Now, you said it's not yet in wide distribution. You have a couple of copies here now. When are you looking to have?
It'll be coming out in July.
Okay.
We are just
Oh.
about to put it on a boat, probably end of July, but it's coming out soon.
Okay.
And we are doing a lot of extra stuff with friendly local game stores to make sure they have copies to show people, because we love getting games out on the table, and
Yeah.
we hope that your
This is a-
viewers are able to find it and play it as well.
And Renegade Games is a pretty good store locator on the site to find where the Renegade games are being distributed.
Yeah, we love partnering with local game stores. We really think they're the lifeblood of the industry, and so we support them any way we can. And you can definitely find them either through our Renegade Games companion app, which gives you extra content from many of our games, including Flatline, Clank, Fuse, and other games coming up in the future, but it also has a retail store locator on that as well.
Excellent. And now we have two other games brought to us by different designers.
Yeah, so Sentient, this is by J. Alex Kavern. He's done World's Fair 1893. We have another game in our lineup coming out from him at Gen Con, and he is just one of my favorite designers to work with because he always creates very clean designs that are very balanced and make really tough decisions possible without a lot of rules.
Okay. What do we mean by really tough decisions possible?
So in this game, you have a factory and you are plugging robots into that factory. But every time you do that, it's going to modify dice on your board. And those dice are going to be what you use to score. So each different robot you plug in has a different way that it scores depending on the dice that are attached to it. But since the robots plug in next to each other, each one you plug in changes those dice. So you have to be very careful to
Which pattern, in which order that you're plugging in.
and which ones that you take at what time and where you take them from, because the places where you go out to procure those bots are also part of this area control aspect that gives you a lot of points in endgame scoring. So all of these little interconnected pieces of this game work so beautifully connected together. I can't believe that anybody actually thought of this. It's one of those games that I can't imagine designing it myself, but we are so lucky to be able to work with this incredible mathematician who was able to do that. So we're really, really happy. And Also, not only J. Alex Kavern, but all the members of the team on this project, including the incredible artist Chris Ostrowski, who also worked for us on several other projects, including Lotus, which is one of the most beautiful games.
Yes, it is.
Game.
Yep.
I love that
So
one.
pretty.
But also Covert and Blood of an Englishman. His art style is very unique, but he's able to do a lot of different stuff at the same time.
We were really fortunate to be able to show off Blood of an Englishman on our stream couple of months ago.
Yeah.
It's been a month. Yeah.
It has been a little while. Yeah. I had a blast with you guys at BGG.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Okay, and Jeff, you mentioned that you were really excited about this
Yes,
game even beforehand.
the people that work at Panda Game Manufacturing were telling me that they like this game a lot.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
flattering. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I like trick-taking games, so that's why they recommended it to me.
Yeah, I have always loved trick-taking games. I played bridge with my grandma growing up.
Same here. I have a local trick-taking game in New England that's only in that region, and my grandmother played it with me constantly. So
Wow, it's really amazing. I was researching trick-taking games recently, and I love that they're so easy to modify. It's
Yeah.
like there's all these little mini game designers
regional
out
ones
there.
everywhere. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
this one is very unique because it is for 2 players,
Right.
and there are very, very few trick-taking games out there that work in 2 players, and there are a lot of couples who grew up playing these games and now want to play them together,
Yep.
or just friends, filler games, whatever. And this one fits the bill nicely. It's got beautiful artwork.
Art is gorgeous. I'm looking at the. Can you show off the cards on the back?
If you want to even open that up, we can take out some of the cards and show those. And it's neat because the scoring is not linear. Each time you take a trick, it may or may not be a good thing, because if you score all of the tricks or most of them, you are going to actually get 0 points because you were greedy. But if you get a few tricks, 3 or less, then you can get a whole bunch of points on the opposite side of the scale. In between, there's a sweet spot where you really want 7 to 9 tricks, but it changes during the gameplay. You have 13 cards in your hand at the beginning. Depending on if I'm winning a bunch or you're winning a bunch, we might change what we're trying to do, either winning or losing tricks. And because of that dynamic scoring, it makes it possible to play as a 2-player game.
that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat. I'm really happy. It's a project that we did with Foxtrot Games, and they also worked on World's Fair 1893 and Lanterns, and they do very, very few games per year, but they put an immense amount of effort into making sure they're perfect. So they're play tested a billion times. The rule books are run through a gamut of different tests to make sure that they make sense, and the artwork is always far better than you would expect from a game that's only $15.
I was just about to ask you what the price point was for that game.
Yeah, it fits into our line of The Beloved Englishman, another
Yeah.
2-player game. Same box size, put them next to the shelf, they're going to fit nicely.
That's really, really nice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Sarah, is there anything else that you want to make sure that our viewers know?
Yeah, we have a ton of stuff coming out for Gen Con. We'll definitely be chatting there. I know we have some fun plans for Gen Con together.
do.
So we'll be showing off more stuff there. But in the meantime, you can get a hold of us at Play Renegade on Twitter, Play RGS on Facebook, or RenegadeGameStudios.com.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, Sarah, for coming by. Really appreciate you taking the time to visit us. I know you have had an awesomely packed booth.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
Well deserved. And a lot of attention. Thank you so much for taking the time to come be with us.
Great. Thanks for having me.